Samantha from Just My Tutorials here, and today I'm going to show you how to create a nebula pendant. So you're going to want some white Polymer clay that's been rolled out on your thickest setting, and you're also going to want 2 pieces of paper. And I'm just going to take that, I'm just going to burnish this, and this will get rid of any drag lines that the pasta machine may have left or fingerprints that you may have accidentally got on it. And it'll just give it a nice even texture on both sides. Okay. I'll just lift that up. Then I want you to grab a cutter of your choice. Now before you use the cutter, I just want to show off the texture stamp that we're going to be using today. And it's this little nebula one that I have, and you can see it comes in 3 sizes, but I'm going to be using this one. And I want to be using this heart cutter for it. So just check that your cutter matches the size of your stamp. Now the texture stamp that I'm using is silicone one, because we're going to be using it to stamp a image rather than a texture. So just bear that in mind. So then I'll just take this, cut out the heart. There we go. If it lifts off the texture stamp off the paper like that, that's fine. Okay. Then just run your finger along the edge just to smooth out any of the edges that may have a little bit of fuzz along it left by the cutter. Okay. There you can see both edges. Now we are going to be sanding this later on, so any little bits of dust and things like that, don't worry about it. And I'm going to put this in the oven and have it baked before we start applying alcohol inks or anything like that. Okay, and here it is once it's out of the oven. So now we are going to sand it because we want to get rid of any imperfections that might be on it. So I've just got a 400 grit sandpaper here. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to sand the surface until I get a nice, clean, white colour. Okay, and here is what it looks like once I finish sanding. I also sanded the edges and the back. So now we are going to apply our alcohol inks. So I've got a few metallics, and this is completely optional. So I've got this opulent, gold, and silver. And you can get it in whatever brand you can find it. Doesn't have to be the brands that I'm using. And I'm also going to be using sapphire blue and chili pepper. So basically a red and dark blue. And I might be using this purple. I haven't decided yet. Okay, and I've just moved it onto a separate tile because I don't want to make my main tile a real mess. And I've also put on a glove because I want to be using my fingers. So I'm going to just drop on a little bit of each colour. I'm going to be starting with the metallics first. Okay, then I'll apply the blue. And then I might add the red in a moment or two. And I'm just basically going to take this and I'm going to just tap around to get the effect that I want. And I don't think I'm going to end up actually using the red, just because I think it will be too much. Okay, and I'm just going to make sure that I get those edges so there's no white spots. Okay, and I quite like that. I don't want to mess with it too much more. Let that dry and then we will repeat on the other side. And before I forget, I'm also going to just gently rub some of that ink along the sides as well. Okay, and here it is once the front has dried, and I basically just repeated the same step on the back. I think this actually is the front and this is the back. Anyway. And then I also coated the sides just to make sure that everything is well coated. So now I'm just going to take that and I'm going to bring over the stamp that I chose earlier, And I'm going to bring over a acrylic block, just press the silicone stamp onto it, and then I'm going to be using black Stays On ink. Any ink will work, so long as it's compatible with the polymer clay. That's why I use Stays On, because it works very well. Okay, and just make sure you get a good coat of ink onto your stamp. Okay, and take that apply it to your cutter. And there we go, you can see the pattern there. Allow that to dry and repeat on the other side. Okay, and here is what both sides look like. Okay, so now I am going to apply some UV resin, and then I'll pop this into the UV light for about 15 minutes, and then when this side is done I will repeat on the back side, like so. Okay, so here's the one side, and you can see that's finished, and here is the other side. And then as for the sides, just rub a little bit or brush a little bit of gloss varnish on that to seal it, and then you're all good to go for the next step. And so the way I'm going to string this is I'm going to take a silver eye pin, and I'll just grab that with my pair of pliers. I'm just going to insert it in here. And after a few twists, you can use your fingers to twist it in. I'm just using the pliers right now because it allows me to apply more strength. But there, once you've got it in, you can basically twist it with your fingers. Pliers also allow me to get in where my fingers can't. Just tighten that in. And there we go. So you now got a little bail. Then I'll just take another bail and decide which one's your front and which one's your back. Just close that. Okay. And then you can string that onto a necklace cord. Like so. Very simple. So that's about it for today's tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please do let me know in the comments below, and bear in mind that there are lots of variations to this tutorial. You can use different alcohol ink colours, you can use different stamps, different ink colours for your stamps, and obviously different shape cutters. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, please do let me know in the comments below. And just so you know as well, everything that I used in this tutorial that I sell on my Etsy shop is 20% off for the next 24 hours. There is a link in the description below if you're interested. And if you would like to support this channel, please do consider becoming a member. There is a join button just below this video where you can support this channel. Or if you would like detailed videos and would like more advanced tutorials, I do have a Patreon membership where I post videos every single month, and that also really helps support the channel. So please do consider checking that out. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.